Is dedicated nationally to epilepsy awareness. It's estimated 3 million Americans and 65 million people worldwide are currently living with epilepsy. And there are many forms of it. Dr. William Tatum is here with new treatments on the horizon. He's the director of the Comprehensive Epilepsy Center at Mayo Clinic. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think it's important to get a definition. So if you would, explain to us what is epilepsy and then what causes it.
So epilepsy, when you ask what is epilepsy, epilepsy is a condition involving the brain and the nervous system where there's an excessive discharge electrically from the nerve cells that create various manifestations that we see behaviorally, such as a staring spell or a convulsion, a drop attack, or a twitch. There are different manifestations, but the primary process involves the brain.
As you're speaking there, I can't help but think about patients. So what is life like for people living with some form of epilepsy? What do they share with you?
So I think that's an excellent question. And what they share, patients often share when they're first involved with a diagnosis of epilepsy, that they're oftentimes blindsided. They have something that's unpredictable that's come into their lives. They're frequently waking up on the ground not realizing why people are over them. They go to see their doctor, their neurologist. The doctor tells them not to drive, take these medications. Good luck in terms of forming various types of social relationships and going to your job and explaining it to them. There are many types of ramifications that take place just with the very first seizure.
But there are several options available, right? Some of the research that's been happening is really paying off, including minimally invasive laser surgery. Would you explain to us what that entails?
Yes, so minimally invasive laser surgery is one of the innovations that has become available very recently for people with uncontrolled seizures. And I guess the good news is that the vast majority of people can be taken care of with the use of simple medication, leading full and productive lives. When that third of patients or a quarter of patients remain resistant, then there are other types of therapies, including laser surgery or stimulators or diet, that can be very helpful for them in terms of achieving control.
Yeah, you don't go straight from a diagnosis to surgery, but it is available to some patients who may need it, including there's a device that I was reading about that's worn on the wrist. How does it work?
So devices that are now emerging in the marketplace for epilepsy are really not ready for prime time yet, though they will be in the near future. They're a type of electronic device that is going to become useful for identifying seizures when they actually begin to occur. And they'll act as a detector initially, and hopefully in the future act to be helpful in terms of predicting when seizures might occur for people.
Also, electrical stimulators for the brain, being able to use smartphones and putting those into play for patients. And I know we're running out of time here, but doctor, I'm wondering if there is a website or a couple of sites where you would send our viewers to learn more about epilepsy, but then also some of the treatments available now and then coming down the pike.
Yeah, so what are treatments coming down the pike? Things like you mentioned, neurostimulators can actually fight electricity with electricity, stimulating electrically areas of the nervous system. Laser surgery was also mentioned. Smartphone connectivity now, with the majority of people in the U.S. using a smartphone, we're able to alert individuals that are away from the site where individuals might be having seizures that in fact a seizure has occurred. And I usually like to refer them to the Epilepsy Foundation of America at www.efa.org. There's a American Epilepsy Society where people may be able to access them at www.aes.net .net or aesnet.org.
Dr. William Tatum, thank you for joining us from the Mayo Clinic in Florida. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Mike, over to you.
All right, thanks, Marion.